Welcome back, America. That may be my favorite bump. I have a lot of favorite bumps. Mary Katharine Ham, I know you're an SEC fan and you're in mourning because the Big Ten dominated everything and Ohio State is the national champion and they were playing Notre Dame. Are you recovered from this yet?
You know, I'm wondering if you'll ever recover, even with a national championship, from having the SEC live rent-free in your head.
Mary Katharine. We just want ESPN to get over their SEC disease. Mary Katharine,
Never.
I'm a bullion. I'm a bullion because President Trump.
I congratulate you. I congratulate you.
I'm still slap happy. I walked into the wrong classroom yesterday at the wrong time because I was slap happy after watching the Buckeyes. I have been talking with Ro Khanna and Danny Pletka, and I'm going to talk with a bunch of other people. Selena Zito, Senator Collins, Charles C.W. Cook, Christine Rosen, about the president's executive order outlawing the counting by race. No more discriminating on the basis of race, religion, gender, ethnicity, country of origin. I am so happy that we are back on the path. What do you think?
I am very excited. And I think this is one of those things where the left took an innocuous phrase and took the idea of righting historic wrongs. DEI is the phrase that I'm referring to that is seemingly innocuous. But this idea of righting historic wrongs flipped the idea of the 14th Amendment on its head, flipped the ideas of Martin Luther King Jr. on their head, and then told all of us that that was fairness and that that was American. And what it really felt like to most people once they figured out what was happening was discrimination. And the reason it feels like discrimination is because it is explicitly discriminatory. And so a lot of people, it's etched in their hearts, the idea that we judge people by the content of their character and not by the color of their skin. That is something that they were taught since childhood was the right way to live. But many of these programs installed insidiously throughout our society have done the opposite. And so I think Americans are behind him on this. I think the law is behind him. I think the spirit of the country is behind him on this. And it'll probably undo a lot of ridiculous harm that has been done in the past specifically the past decade or so, where it's gotten very intense.
It's gotten very intense. And in his first term, President Trump, I like to say, built the trampoline, which is an originalist majority on the Supreme Court. In his second term, he's going to use the trampoline. I hope somebody sues on that EO and runs it right up the flagpole. Now, I just had a rather heated discussion with Ro Khanna about birthright citizenship. I believe anyone born in the United States to parents who are here legally, and there may be an exception for tourist visas, I'm not sure, is a citizen of the United States. Wong Kim Ark is an 1898 decision that kind of answered this, but not really. It's never been answered. Trump signs an order that says, no, they're not. What that does is set up a test case. I think the court will dispatch that test case. I think Trump is doing every child born of illegal parents a favor. What do you think?
I love this idea that it will get run up the flagpole quickly and sort of affirmed that this is the case. What I am worried about is that because of the 1898 decision on this and the fact that it is mostly settled, that we will waste a lot of time and energy and money doing this. But I'm open to your theory on it. And you're right, he has said he's open to the dreamers.
Yeah, he told me. And so Ro Khanna said that was good spin. I actually think he's got a constituency of truly hardcore anti-immigration people that he's thrown a bone to, but that bone is going to end up at the court, and the court's going to go 7-2, 8-1, or 9-0.
And importantly, with his base in that way, Trump has a way of throwing the bone, and they don't mind if it doesn't come to fruition, if the bone is thrown for the most part.
So I want your general react, Mary Katharine, because I haven't listened to Getting Hammered. Have you done a Getting Hammered since the inauguration speech and the balls and all that stuff?
Yes.
Haven't listened to it yet. So tell me, what are you and Vic thinking after 48 hours of the golden age?
Well, I would say a friend I texted said at the end of the inauguration day, when he'd done the live press conference while signing executive orders, after he'd signed executive orders and tossed the pens into the crowd at Capital One, she said, "This is the greatest episode of reality TV I have ever watched." I think that's obviously part of the genius of Trump. But I was also very assured and very much enjoyed the traditionalist ceremony of the inauguration. I thought his speech was two parts. It was one part aspirational. America is a place that does impossible things. You've got Musk in the room who literally wants to colonize Mars. So he's, we're putting our money where our mouth is there. I loved that part of the speech. And also the first part of the speech was an indictment of a system and many people in the room who absolutely deserved it. And I think I might have been a little bit like, ooh, he should be a little more gentle in the room, except for the fact that Biden released those pardons before he drove over to the dang rotunda. And it's just egregious, the kind of things he's done. He has become exactly what he told you Trump was to be feared for. While Trump has not done that. Trump, meanwhile, is promising not to use the justice system to go after his enemies. So I enjoyed the speech. I enjoyed watching JD Vance get sworn in with Usha standing next to him with their beautiful daughter in her arms. I found that more moving than I expected as a fellow of their generation, to watch them ascend to that level and to see a young family in that
How many
situation.
Paw Patrol Band-Aids do you have in your house, Mary Katharine Ham?
So many, man. They demand them. It is very important to have character Band-Aids in your home, and woe betide you if you have the wrong character. I'm sure that Usha is prepared for this, as are the Navy attachés over at the VPR.
Last question. The insufferable bishop. The J.D. Vance leveled with a side eye. What'd you think of that whole thing?
I am of the mind that JD's reaction is the correct one. To be fair to her, she's an Episcopalian. It was an interfaith service, and her faith is liberalism, so that's what she was bringing to the table. I like the side eye and just moving on. I don't love that she's like, when Trump goes after her, as of course he was going to, he's going to raise her to this resistance hero, but nobody cares about resistance heroes anymore.
That's it. They've lost their superpower.
We were.
Trump is their kryptonite. It took a long time it's not green kryptonite, it's apparently red kryptonite, but do you get that reference at all? Because you dropped a Harper Valley PTA reference on your audience without explaining it last week. I knew right away, but I'm the right age. How do you know about Harper's Valley PTA? You're too young.
I've told you, my father was extremely good at educating us on music.
Well, that was quite the rock on the windshield for a lot of people. When you had to take to X to explain what Harper Valley PTA meant, then I thought, the rock hit the windshield. Call that windshield company. Mary Katharine Ham, host of Getting Hammered.